Okay, thank you all so much for coming out. So my name is Dr. Anna Cohen-Miller, and I work in the Graduate School of Education at Nazarbayev University, and I am the founding co-director of the Consortium of Gender Scholars. So the Consortium of Gender Scholars, or GenCon, our mission is to bring together research about gender, all various topics, in order to collectively unite the scholars across Kazakhstan and then for the region to have a voice, to be able to see others, to collaborate, to have a collective purpose as we move forward, whether these are on issues of advocacy or in highlighting the work that we all are doing. So more and more we're seeing issues of gender becoming highlighted in the media in Kazakhstan and in the region as well. During quarantine, this has been coming up in terms of, issues of violence, right, in the home, gender-based violence. And so many topics are becoming more prevalent, which is a good sign that the topic of gender is being noticed and being addressed. And so it's a very meaningful point that you all are here, and as we continue forward now into this year in our research talks, that we have a chance to learn about each other's work and to informally also discuss. Normally, these research talks are in a physical space on the Nazarbayev University campus, supported by the Office of the Provost with, tea and cookies or crackers. And so in order to create that environment. So now we're attempting this in a virtual space, right? So Miriam, I'm happy I saw you have a cup of tea or coffee. I have a coffee here also. Please feel free to bring your own as well. And so now the typical next step is to go around and everyone can have a chance just to say who they are. If you're able to unmute, that's great, or you could text it if you needed to. But just we'll go around, I'll say your name and then you can go ahead and unmute, right? And say who you are, perhaps what your, what affiliation you have or your interest in being at GenCon today. So let's start with Almira. I see you first on my screen. Would you mind introducing yourself? You're muted.
Oh, okay. So hello, everybody. I'm Ainura. I come from Uzbekistan. So I've been working at Nazarbayev University since January with Professor Nurin Durrani in the project GenCon. I'm trying to assist, and I'm very happy to be present here, and I'll be later asking some questions.
Great, thank you so much, Almira. For me, your voice cut off a little bit. One thing, so Almira has been working with GenCon over this last year in particular, doing some really wonderful work for research and writing and outreach. So glad to have you here. Myra, I see you next.
Hello, everyone. It's so enjoyable and kind atmosphere here. So my name is Myra. I am a new zipper. My future master program is GSC, Inclusive Education, my major. So I was interested in the topic because this email was sent to my email. So I would like to be part of today's meeting.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Myra. Really happy to have you here. Arlise, I see you next.
Hello, everyone. My name is Arlise Menzies, and I am an instructor in the Writing Center program. And I'm not sure how to characterize my interest. Gender is always of interest, especially if you're a woman. So, yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much for being here. I was particularly excited to have Arlise here. I saw that she was giving a talk recently, and I was thinking, it would be just wonderful to have her a part of the community. And so I'm really pleased to have you a part of the community today. Miriam, would you like to come in next?
Hi, so I'm Miriam, and I'm an academic English instructor at the Graduate School of Education. I'm starting my 3rd year here. And I'm here because I'm generally interested in topics of equality, whether it's gender equality, racial equality. So that's what or even a social group equality. So that's what I like to know more about. And so here I am. Hi, everyone.
Great. Thank you
this
so
is my
much, Miriam.
colleague. He's also interested in equality.
Nice. Right? We have an inclusive environment, right? Including all species allowed, right?
Exactly.
Thanks, Miriam. And I see Nur Zamal next, but it looks like there was a message that if you wanted to try to come in.
Hello and hello everybody. Sorry for my environment. I'm in another country and just I'm now in an aircraft. I would like to participate, but I have just 20 minutes when the plane will go to another city. So I am a New Zip candidate for MP. So I would like to participate to attend this meeting. This is interesting topic for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right. Well, this will be recorded so you can watch it afterward if you miss some parts and some discussion. Thank you for taking us onto the plane with you. So my husband, Douglas Cohen Miller, he wrote a message that right now he said, "Hi, I'm Doug, Anna's husband. Gender topics are a big part of our home life and have been for many years. I'm a graphic designer and work from home, dad. My professional life, I work with organizations and businesses to develop branding and identity. I'm with the kids now, so this is my introduction." So he's over there. Thank you. So welcome. Now I see, so Utama, right? Would you like to unmute yourself and introduce how you would like us to refer to you?
Yeah, hey Anna, thank you. And hello everyone, good afternoon here. I'm in Bali now, and I'm a PhD candidate in accounting in economic and business of faculty. I love this topic about the gender because I'm trying to looking at the narcissism, I think, narcissism for the CEO in the some of corporate, some of companies, yeah, and the dimension is the genders. I think that's my interest. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for coming to join us from Bali. Hope you will come back. Okay, I see Camille now. Let's see if she can unmute. All right. Well, feel free to come in at another time, Camille. What about Darlene? I know there can be struggles with unmuting from time to time. All right, we'll keep going. And Anar?
Hello everyone, my name is Anar. I'm a student at NIZI program. My future master program is mechanical and aerospace engineering. I'm interested because my mother is a teacher and I want to know which factors will you highlighted, especially for female teachers at this situation during the online environment. So I attend this webinar. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. And we have Nabi.
Hi everyone. My name is Nabi Arslan. I am student of Nazarbayev University 0-year program, and my major don't related to teaching, but I'm very interested to participate this webinar because in future I dream to be a teacher, and so I think will be helpful to me.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here. And then lastly, I'd like to introduce Jana, who has been working with GenCon now for a while, and I'm really honored to have had the chance and be able to continue conducting research as with Almira, research and writing. And Jana will then introduce our speaker.
Sure, thank you. Thank you everyone for joining today's presentation. We're very glad and honored that you have found the time. Before we start, before I introduce our speaker today, I would like to inform you that we are planning to carry out about 6 presentations for this fall 2020. So all of the presentations would be in virtual format. So please stay tuned and join throughout this fall semester. Also, as Professor Anna mentioned, I am a second-year PhD student at Nazarbayev University Graduate School of Education, and also my research interests include gender, equality, equity, and also mother scholars and tutoring. So today we are very honored that we have a director of a research institute for social and gender studies from Kazakh National Women's Teacher Training University, located in Almaty, Ainur Kenebayeva. Please, Ainur, the floor is yours.
Anna, Jana, for your kind invitation. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. I'm very pleased to be with all of you during this session today. And let me please, first of all, share my screen with you. So we can start the presentation session. 1 minute. So I'm going to share my screen. Can you see my screen, guys?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
Problem.
Opening it on my computer as well. So if we need.
Yeah. I'm trying to fix this problem. 1 minute.
Of course.
Sharing.
I know Iris just joined us. She's a colleague of mine from the Graduate School of Education as well, along with Miriam. Thank you so much for being here, Iris.
Thank you, Anna, for your organization and invitation, and also Jana's organization.
Yes. If others are interested in speaking at some point, right? If there's a discussion topic you would like to lead or another presentation, research that you're conducting or thinking about, just let us know. Ainur, would you like me to share my screen to try that?
Okay, I think it will be better because I couldn't fix this problem.
Sure.
Going on.
Okay.
Maybe it will be better.
Try.
We can start the presentation.
All right. Let me do one more aspect here. I will, so I can focus on just the screen. Okay. How does that look for you?
Thank you so much. It is quite good.
Okay.
So, guys, dear colleagues, let me start my presentation. Just saying a few words about the Research Institute for Social and Gender Studies. It has been established in the year 2000, and it has almost 20 years of research history. Anna, please, could you move to the next slide? And we are focusing on multidisciplinary research projects and different social initiatives. So we can go to the next slide. The key directions are the social and gender studies implemented at local and international levels. So we can go ahead with the next slide. Currently, at international level, we are implementing 2 research projects and 1 social project. The first project is the research project that will be discussed today. This study investigates stress factors for female teachers at distance learning environment in conditions of COVID-19 in Central Asian countries, and it is financially supported by UNESCO. The second project is the continuation of the first project, where we are planning to study other uncovered aspects of distance education in the pre- and post-pandemic periods by comparative country analysis through the prism of gender and management issues. And the third project is a social project implemented with the assistance of the university students. And the main idea is filling in the gaps in Wikipedia at national context by introducing famous Kazakh women. So we can move to the next slide. At local level, as you can see, we have also initiated several comprehensive projects, such as distance learning in Kazakh National Women's Teacher Training University in context of COVID-19. Also, we have studied the profession of the teacher through the social portrait of graduates of our university, and another part of this research is the directories of the gender education in higher education institutions of the Republic of Kazakhstan. We can move to the next slide. So we are moving to our important topic because we know that the COVID-19 and education issues nowadays are one of the hot topics, yeah. So due to the global pandemic, questions related to the impact of COVID-19 on education systems worldwide has received an increasing attention. And current challenges show that global pandemic puts individuals, societies, regions, countries, and even the continents on unequal conditions. In this regard, our study tries to address the relevant and timely problems at Central Asian context by focusing on significant aspects of distance teaching, such as mental health of people, professional burnout, and work productivity. So we can move to the next slide. The project is a multidisciplinary study that integrates gender, psychology, education, and management issues within the digitalization and COVID-19 context. And in our project, we are investigating the stress factors affecting mental health of female school and university teachers in pre- and post-pandemic periods. So we can go ahead with the next slide. And the main objectives of this project is empowering socially vulnerable female groups to cope with digitalization and career-related challenges by organizing the series of psychological trainings on the basis of their study results. Moreover, we are planning to develop strategic recommendations for university and school management and education policy makers to measure the specific problems within their organizations. And of course, they can take special measures and actions against professional burnout, dissatisfaction, and work inefficiency within their organizations. So we can move to the next slide. The global digital disruption in education systems worldwide that has arisen as a result of the COVID-19 crisis has caused serious psychological distress among education professionals. And it is commonly believed that exactly women educators experience high levels of stress as compared to others because of the double stress experienced both at home and work. So we can move to the next slide. Moreover, we should also take into account other problems or negative factors that may cause stress among women, such as increased extra work as a result of rapid shift to online education, extra housework, unpaid care, domestic violence, and of course the professional burnout. So we can move to the next slide. The scope of the research, as you can see, covers 4 Central Asian countries, including Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. We can go to the methodology, yes. This study adapts quantitative research methodology based on survey data collection technique. The online self-administered questionnaires have been distributed according to the stratified random sampling. And the survey has been conducted among the female teachers working in the universities and schools of Central Asia. So we can go to the scales. This is the next slide. In order to avoid the exploratory factor analysis and save time on scale testing, we have used existing scales adapted from psychology and management theories. As you can see, we have adapted perceived stress scale developed by Cohen, symptom checklist scale suggested by Gonzalez, and quality workforce competence scale widely used in management. Though we can talk about the research hypothesis now. Based on extensive literature review, we have developed 3 main hypotheses of our research. So according to the first hypothesis, we assume that the relationship between stress factors and mental health of female university teachers differs across countries, and the level of material and technical security moderates this relationship. According to the second hypothesis, the relationship between organizational climate factors and mental health of female university teachers differs across countries, and the level of material technical security moderates this effect. And the third hypothesis, as you can see in this case, we are considering organizational climate factors that we defined as social climate, participation, goal clarity, and performance feedback. And we assume that these factors may be reduced by stress, and so this effect may positively impact the mental health. We can move to the expected research outcomes now. From this research, we are expecting positive social impact by organizing psychological training for school and university teachers at the end of the project. Also, we are planning to contribute to research, to education research by joint research publications based on study results. Furthermore, through the cross-country comparative analysis, we are planning to develop strategic recommendations for each participating university and school. Also, the results of the research can be used by UNESCO offices as a supportive material for ongoing human rights, gender equality, and education-related projects. We can move to another slide with the link. You can go ahead, please, Anna. Yeah, this one. This is the link for online survey. So if you are interested, everybody, you are welcome to join our research. Now we are on the stage of collecting preliminary data. And currently we have 716 responses. Majority of respondents are from Kazakhstan. Also, we have 3% of respondents from Kyrgyzstan. And nowadays with the UNESCO, we are trying to promote our research within the Uzbekistan and Tajikistan territories. So we can move to the next slide. As I said before, we have divided this research project into 2 comprehensive stages. This one in the second stage, So within this idea, we applied for the Spencer Foundation Research Grant. And in case of being financially supported, we are planning to investigate stress factors for university staff at distance teaching environment by comparative analysis between Kazakhstan and the USA from gender and management perspectives. And in this idea, we are trying to make a special focus, not only, let's say, separated groups of stakeholders, yeah? We are trying to focus on the university staff as a whole. And we are planning to cooperate with the Mississippi Valley University. And in case of being supported, I hope that we can reach our research goals together. So we can go to the next slide. By reviewing the latest publications addressing the education and pandemic problems, we have revealed some theoretical and practical gaps. For example, the majority of studies devoted to educational problems in context of global pandemic predominantly highlight the challenges faced by school teachers, university faculties, students or children, while the case of university administration or management remains neglected. Moreover, it is commonly believed that exactly women educators experience higher levels of stress, and the stress factors among male teachers remain mainly unexplored. We can move to the next slide. And in this regard, this current research project aims to investigate stress factors affecting mental health of university staff in pre- and post-pandemic periods from gender and management perspectives by exploring specific problems of education in developed country, which is the USA in this context, and the country with emerging economy, such as Kazakhstan. The study will be designed as an empirical exploratory study based on mixed methodology, combining quantitative and qualitative methods. So we can move to the methodology. At the stage of the quantitative investigations, self-administered online questionnaires will be distributed, relying on a stratified, territorial, demographic, random sampling technique. At the stage of qualitative investigations, in-depth interviews will be conducted with the top management representatives of universities, and the sample size is defined as 25 education management experts, including head of departments, deans, and maybe vice rectors. And each country should be represented by 25 respondents, and in total, we are planning to make a good sample size, which is amounted to the 50 respondents. So we can move to the research model. As you can see from the suggested research model, we have included one moderator variable, which is defined as a socio-economic well-being, and one mediator variable that we defined as a stress level. We think that considering the socio-economic well-being is important because we are going to compare two different countries with different economic conditions. As I said before, this is the USA and Kazakhstan. So, to the research hypothesis. The first research hypothesis says that the relationship between stress factors and mental health of female university teachers differs across countries, gender, work position, and the level of socioeconomic well-being moderates this relationship. The second hypothesis says that the relationship between organizational climate factors and mental health of female university teachers differs across gender, work position, countries, and the level of socioeconomic well-being moderates this relationship. And according to their last hypothesis, social climate, participation, goal clarity, and performance feedback, which are the organizational climate factors, positively affects mental health, and the level of stress mediates this effect. So we can move to the data analysis. At this stage of the data analysis, we are planning to use different statistical analysis, such as the structural equation modeling. It will be used to investigate the relationships, mediating and moderating effects between variables. And also we are planning to apply the confirmatory factor analysis, which is very helpful in testing the reliability, scale compositions, and of course the validity of the measures. And also we are planning to use the independent sample t-test because, as I said before, we have 2 countries. Also, we are comparing 2 gender groups, males and females, and we are focusing on the university staff. And of course, we have to consider 2 cases, which are the teachers and top managers. So this is the general overview of our research projects. Thank you so much, dear colleagues, for your attention. And if you have any further questions, I will be happy to discuss with you and answer for your questions.
Thank you so much, Ainur. This is fascinating to hear about the steps that you're working towards and these multiple ways in which you're getting to such an important topic right now, right? That is affecting all of our lives. So, or could be if you're not yet a teacher, but some of you had talked about becoming one. So I'd like to open up the floor for any questions. You can unmute or raise your hand or virtual hand or text it. Let's see.
Okay.
Almira?
Yes, I was going to ask about the expected outcomes. So can you hear me well?
We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
So as I come from Uzbekistan, I'm also very interested. You said that you have been collecting the data only in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan, right? So through UNESCO, you mentioned that you will be conducting in future. So what will be the outcomes? So let's say if you receive the results from other countries as well, so will you be comparing the results? So like challenges or what kind of differences or similarities? So what will we receive in total? Let's say that you have gained information from 4 countries, right? So then what we will see, the image, will be the like comparison or like in percentage or in quantitative result?
Yeah, thank you so much for your question. Yes, we are focusing on 4 different countries, but we know that these countries has quite similar background, especially the education systems are also quite similar, and we are assuming that they might have similar problems. And of course, the cultural context is also very important. Mentality of female teachers, also the Asian cultural context may also have a strong impact on the mental health of female teachers. And the main idea is not just comparing the statistical data, let's saying that they have such kind of problems, maybe technical problems, maybe just they are experiencing a specific type of stress. We are trying to find out unique country-specific mental health problems, and we are trying to organize special training, psychological seminar, which will be valuable for each participating countries. And we are planning to organize not only general seminar for everybody. We are trying to focus on country specifics, and we are planning to make strategic recommendations adapted to each country, and of course, find out specific solutions, psychological solutions that helps to cope with specific stress factors in specific countries.
Thank you so much, Ainur.
So you are right. That's what I was going to ask, because
sorry,
because you know Tajikistan and Uzbekistan had sedentary life, and Kazakh and Kyrgyz, they had nomadic. So the role of women in all spheres of education is really different. So they don't share the almost same cultural background. They really differ. And if you see at the UNDP or other ranks, GDP, the difference is really huge. That's why I was going to ask, and you answered that. So the psychological trainings will be adapted to each country. That's what I was going to ask. Thank you very much.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you for your question, Amira. Jana, I saw you unmute.
Yes. So I think we have people coming in and coming out sometimes, but it's okay. Ainur, thank you for your presentation. As I see, you are doing a lot of a project. You are collecting a lot of responses. So currently you have for the teachers project approximately 600, you said, yes, respondents from Central Asia.
760, yeah.
Okay, good, perfect. So you presented the link, and it would be wonderful if you could explain in detail what are eligibility, who can participate. We would definitely send and call for participation throughout our social media. So if you could explain in detail who can take part and share their responses, it would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your cooperation and willingness to participate in this project. Yes, promoting this idea is very important because we have already contacted different organizations, schools, also the local management organizations in higher education, at schools, and also we have conducted the Ministry of Education and Science of the Republic of Kazakhstan, and also through offices of UNESCO, we are trying to reach other people in other Central Asian countries, and with the cooperative support, we have collected those data nowadays. But in the future, we are planning to move on because this is a one-year project, and till the March of the year 2021, we have time to collect additional data. And as you know, the Tajikistan and Uzbekistan, they have their own specifics, and it is really difficult to collect data from countries. And of course, if you can help, we are expecting any help. Thank you so much, and it will be great. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Ainur. So we will get the clarification on who can participate, and we will then share the link as well.
I will prepare the information letter and I can send you, Anna, and if you can share this link and also the information letter with your colleagues, maybe you know some teachers at school, because we are focusing on university teachers and school teachers. I can send it, and I really appreciate if you can participate in our survey. I think it will be interesting, beneficial for the whole Central Asian territories.
Absolutely, right? We in particular need research right now in what is happening in such a unique situation. And so for this region and also internationally, right, to understand there's something major that's happening, right? We recognize this, and yet without the data, we're not able to continue forward and see what else is needed and how do we address these issues of equity and inclusion and, right, in this case, stress, well-being. Almira, I saw your hand raised, or then you put it down. So
I was going to ask about the questionnaire language, because is it ready? I mean, will it be adapted to each country as well? Because in other, like Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, they won't be able even to understand in Russian. So is the like Uzbek, Tajik version is ready? So, or it's still in process, in case we will be distributing the link?
Yeah, we have prepared the questionnaire in 2 languages. The first language was the English, because at the first stage of the pilot testing, we have introduced our questionnaire to the UNESCO specialists in education. And these experts helped us to revise the questionnaire format. And then we conducted a pilot testing between the few number of groups defined as a potential respondents. Then we translated to Russian language because we assume that for the CIS countries, Russian language will be more informative and they can understand the context of the research. And we are distributing in other countries, including Uzbekistan and Tajikistan, in Russian language.
Great. Thank you very much. Helpful clarifications. Do other people have questions or comments? You know, many people had asked for the recording of your presentation, Dr. Ainur, or your PowerPoint as well. So many people are interested in following up and learning more. Could you tell us more about your research team? This is one thing that is always interesting to me, to think about, okay, who is collecting the data? Who are the collaborators, and how did you come together and are moving forward?
Yeah, actually, in my department, within the Research Center for Social and Gender Studies, we have 5 units. Unfortunately, 3 vacancies are still open. If you can share this information, I'm also glad to invite someone for our projects. And currently we have only 2 people. Me as a director, I'm responsible for the international projects. I'm responsible for the proposal writing, for designing the research, for developing the questionnaires, for developing scales, making the literature review, for everything. And another person is responsible for the local projects that are implemented within the territory of Kazakhstan or within the university. And we are working together. And we are trying to find the people with relevant background. We are interested in the social or humanitarian field, and of course we need some people with publications, with skills in data interpretation and data analysis, and of course sometimes it's very difficult and hard to find the relevant person. So we have 3 vacancies. 1 vacancy is for the senior researcher, another one for the researcher position, and we have 1 position for the project manager who can coordinate the whole process.
Okay, wow, that's great to know. And yes, we would be happy to share the job announcements. And I know many people who are here today, or at least a few people, would be interested in helping or collaborating out as a kind of ad hoc work. So maybe one person who might be interested and available to help with data analysis on one of their projects, or maybe somebody else with literature or helping to distribute surveys. So if there's a way that you would like people to get in contact with you, or they could come through us, so we can try to facilitate, right, this research study that you're conducting, as well as bringing other people into the project and moving it along.
Yeah, collaboration is very important, especially in conducting the let's say comprehensive projects with their big data collection process, because it requires additional time, and also creating some draft analysis is very important. And if anybody would like to collaborate, we are open. We can discuss different terms and conditions of this work. Maybe we can, let's say, someone as a freelancer, we can consider every possible solutions for this problem, actually. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ainur. Would you like to put your email address into the chat? Or we could, if you feel comfortable with people contacting you directly.
Yes, please. Yeah, we are open. Yeah, you are welcome to put my email. Yeah, share my presentations, everything that you need. Yeah, please.
Okay, great. All right, so we will do that. John, if you have that handy in front of you, would you mind
yes,
adding that?
Sure.
Thank you.
I also want to comment that I'm so glad that our platform is becoming more. It's like not only collaboration for research, it's also collaboration for a job announcement, for the mutual interest. It's very wonderful, and I'm glad to evidence that. Yeah.
It's a great point. Thank you, Jenna, for bringing that up. Right, this is now in this platform also in going virtual, right? We have people not only across, right? We're bringing together people across Kazakhstan, but as we heard from Bali, we also have from Korea, we have people in different places around the world on the airplane, right? And so this is a chance that, you know, it's an opportunity. Well, we can't visit face to face, which can be a challenge and is unfortunate. There are opportunities that are present here, and seeing these ways that we can then work together. This is the same thing. So if people are interested then in conducting research with Ainur or reaching out in various ways for full-time positions, it sounds like there are a few open, or as a freelancer or in some other manner, her email is now in the chat. And then also, thank you very much, Dr. Ainur, for your willingness to share the PowerPoint and video. We will be posting those on Facebook, our page, the Consortium of Gender Scholars, and also links on Instagram, so at Gender Scholars, which I've also put in the chat. You can also, on our website, you can sign up, and I can try to share my screen again. I'll show you our website in case you haven't seen it. So we have here, okay, can you see the screen? Okay, great. So the Consortium of Gender Scholars, you can join our mailing list if you're not yet on it. So please feel free to go ahead and enter your information if you're not already listed. We're in the process as well of growing our team. So if you're interested in joining GenCon as a regular member, coordinator in some way, perhaps you're interested in social media, perhaps you're interested in the research aspect and want to coordinate events, or interested in locating grants, right? Connecting to organizations, right? If you would like to be a contact, we're very open to innovative ideas and ways to move discussion forward. I know some students have been interested in the past, the idea of podcasts, right? So you want to create some type of podcast to talk about and to reach out to other scholars or other people who are interested in the topic of gender. Let your mind go free to think about the ways in which you might want to contribute to the Consortium of Gender Scholars and to move the collective discussion of research around issues of gender and the topic of gender forward. Okay. Any other questions or comments for our wonderful speaker and researcher who has brought such insightful and exciting research forward for us, or broadly about work you're doing or about GenCon?
Hello, I have a question. I would like to comment Hello, everyone. Thank you, Ainura, for your presentation and for your research. I wish you luck, great luck. So I would like also to collaborate and to be part of your research because it sounds so attractive personally for me. Because I am also a mom at the same time I work, and on some points of your presentation I recognize myself with kids. Yes, it's amazing. So personally, I think my question will be in some point personally. How do you usually how do you find the balance between personal life with your kids and your research work? I mean, the included work and research work, etc. How do you find the balance?
At this moment, I can say that I'm a little bit free because I don't have children yet. So I have ability to focus on my research, but just recently I created my own family, and maybe in future I will also experience such kind of challenges. But I think it depends, first of all, the mental health of people. We should, of course, think about our soul, yeah, and we should think about our physical and mental health. This is the most important. People with strong energy, with strong health, they can afford everything. So I think it depends on their personal lifestyle. It depends on, let's say, specific physical conditions of people, yeah, because some people are really sick, even if they are experience every day their right life balance. Sometimes they cannot afford just a few problems in their personal life, and I think it is something specific, something individual, and each person tries to find their own way in solving such kind of problems. But creating balance, I think it's like a destiny, yeah. I can't say that this is like a formula, or we can hypothesize it, yeah. So everybody is an individual person. We have our own specific feelings. Sometimes we react differently. Reactions are also very important because some people can complicate just simple things. And of course, creating a balance, it is quite difficult. I can just say that we have to try to do our best in everything and try to cope with different problems. And the most important thing is just accepting those problems. If we can accept those problems at the present, yeah, of their life, maybe we can afford everything very easily, and we can overcome those obstacles easily. I think so. But I'm not a psychologist, I'm not an expert, I'm just saying from a personal point of view. And I'm lucky because at this period of time, I'm just a little bit free, and we can concentrate on my research, do my work. And of course, sometimes I also don't have enough time because I'm engaged in an administrative position, yeah, because the director should also solve other problems, administrative problems within the university, within the research center, and sometimes also difficult for me to focus on my research and make some deep analysis. But anyway, through collaboration, of course, we can make everything easier. So thank you so much for your interest. I'm really open to collaborate with you. If you are interested in this research, maybe we can start another research in future. Please contact me. Don't hesitate to contact me with any questions. I'm really open and I always ready to help and support you if I can.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ainur. Thank you very much, Myra, for that question. This also touches upon work that GenCon is doing now, that we're conducting a study, a photo voice study, so using arts-based methods, using photographs to understand the reality of mothers in academia, so whether part-time, full-time, faculty, students who also have children, right? So you're a mother, you have a children at home during quarantine, and we are starting to showcase some of this data at the same time that we are still collecting. I can show briefly on Instagram, you can see some examples of the reality of life at home with children, right? So as a mother. So if you're interested in participating, you can reach out to us. If you're interested also, what this brings up, Myra, and for others, we used to have a group actually that Dr. Sajid had put together on our campus to bring together graduate student mothers in particular to talk about challenges of work-life balance, of wellness, and seeing that you're not alone. Many of the people here are mothers and also scholars on one level or another. So whether you're interested, Myra, or somebody else is interested in finding a time, right? Just, okay, you find a Thursday nights at, 8 p.m. you would love to get together, right, with a coffee or a drink or soda, something, right? Then this could be a format. The Consortium of Gender Scholars can help facilitate that with Zoom or other ways to promote the collective bringing together of people for well-being. And again, this all relates to gender studies and scholarship and moving forward for equity and inclusion. So thank you all so much. I'm looking at my time, right? An hour has flown by. I would let's give a collective, virtual or round of applause for our speaker, Dr. Ainur. We really appreciate that you have come out today. This is an insightful view on research studies that are moving forward, the ways in which we can facilitate well-being, to understand topics that are essential to our lives right now have not been addressed. You've so clearly articulated the gaps in the research, the ways in which studies, right, whether it's Spencer is interested in a grant-funded way to comparatively understand these topics. And also, I imagine that many other places will be interested in promoting and showcasing this work. It's a great example of collaboration and the ways in which we can all come together to facilitate research and address important topics related to the topic of gender. So our next talk, right, Jana has posted, will be on the 21st of October, which is a Wednesday, I believe, at 2 p.m. So please feel free to register. We'll send out the email, register, stop by. Even if you can't stay for the whole time, no problem, right? Come and say hi, listen to a bit, the whole thing if you can, be here for the question and answer. And for now, I'm going to keep the room open if people want to continue to chat. If there's, individual people who would like to talk further, perhaps somebody would like to talk to Dr. Ainur, and I can put you into a breakout room, right? If you're available, Dr. Ainur, with other people who might want to ask some other details of positions or research next steps. And I will go ahead and stop the recording.